Many years ago, in a distant land, there was a powerful and wise king. He was famous for his strength and intelligence, but his kingdom was filled with people who did wrong things. This made the king very unhappy. He thought for a long time about how to stop people from committing crimes, but he couldn't find a solution. One day, an idea came to him. He ordered his people to build a massive and beautiful stadium in the center of the city. The people worked hard for months, and when it was finally completed, it could hold 5,000 spectators. Everyone in the kingdom was excited about the grand opening. Some thought it would be used for games, while others hoped for music and dancing. But no one knew what the king had planned. On the day of the grand opening, people rushed to the stadium, eager to find out its purpose. When the king arrived, silence fell over the crowd. He stood up and addressed his people. "My dear people, first, I want to thank the workers for building this magnificent stadium. But this place is not for games or entertainment. This is a place for wrongdoers. If someone commits a crime, they will be brought here. In front of all of you, they must make a choice." The king pointed to two large blue doors at the far end of the stadium. "Behind one door is a fierce tiger. If the wrongdoer opens this door, the beast will leap out and kill him. But behind the other door is a beautiful woman. If he opens this door, he must marry her immediately, right here in front of everyone." The people gasped. The king continued, "The wrongdoer will not know which door leads to life and which leads to death. The choice is his. Now tell me, my people, is this a good idea?" The crowd responded, "Yes, O king. It is a great idea." But deep inside, they were uneasy and afraid. From that day on, every week, a wrongdoer was brought to the stadium to make his choice. Sometimes, a man would open the right door, and a beautiful lady would step out. The crowd would cheer, throw flowers, and celebrate with music and dancing. But at other times, the wrongdoer chose the wrong door, and a ferocious tiger would pounce on him, killing him in an instant. The people would then go home in sorrow. Over time, the number of criminals in the kingdom decreased. No one wanted to risk standing in the middle of that arena. Now, this story also involves another important person, the king's daughter. She was breathtakingly beautiful, with green eyes and long, flowing red hair. She was as strong and intelligent as her father. She rarely smiled, but when she did, it made people happy. However, when she was angry, everyone feared her. One day, while walking in the city park, the princess noticed a young gardener. He was tall, strong, and handsome, with dark blue-black hair and a charming smile. The moment she saw him, her heart raced. She spoke to him, and the more they talked, the more she liked him. The young gardener was confused. Why would the king's daughter want to talk to him, a simple worker? But when he looked into her deep green eyes, he fell in love. He knew this love was dangerous. He was not wealthy or noble. He could never marry the daughter of the king. Despite the risks, they began meeting in secret every day, and their love grew stronger. They were happy, until the king found out. One day, he caught them together in the royal garden. His daughter was in the young man's arms. The king's face darkened with rage. He immediately ordered his guards to seize the young man and lock him in a dark, filthy room. From that moment on, the princess was forbidden from seeing him. The young man knew he was now considered a criminal and that his fate rested in the stadium, but the king's daughter was not only strong, she was clever. She knew what would happen next. Before dawn, she secretly went to the stadium. She found the workers and bribed them. "Which door hides the tiger?" she asked. The workers hesitated but eventually told her. Then she asked, "And which girl will be behind the other door?" The workers nervously answered, "She is the daughter of your father's driver." The princess stiffened. She knew the girl well, a beautiful young woman with rich brown hair. But the princess despised her, her mind raced. If my lover chooses the wrong door, he will die. But if he chooses the right door, he will marry that girl. Either way, I lose him. That afternoon, the stadium was filled with people. The king took his place, and his daughter sat beside him, her face emotionless. The guards brought the young man out. He stood in the middle of the stadium, tired, hungry, and afraid. The king addressed the crowd, "You all know this young man. He dared to love my daughter. Now he must choose. Behind one door is a tiger. Behind the other is a woman. His fate is in his own hands. Choose wisely, young man." The crowd fell silent. The young man stood still, but he did not look at the king. Instead, he searched for the princess's eyes. She did not smile. But her gaze spoke. Then, ever so slightly, she moved her smallest finger toward the left. The young man understood. Without hesitation, he turned and walked toward the left door. The entire stadium held its breath. He reached out, placed his hand on the handle, and pulled the door open. But that is where the story ends. Now, ask yourself, the princess was deeply in love, but she was also angry and jealous. Did she guide him to the door with the lady, ensuring his life but giving him to another woman? Or did she send him to his death, unable to bear the thought of him loving someone else? What do you think? Was it the lady? Or the tiger?